Hello everyone and welcome to this Android tutorial. In this tutorial we are going to learn how to use buttons in Android. As you can see, the language I'm using here is Java, so we are going to code it in Java. So kick it off by starting a new Android Studio project. Click on File, New Project, give it a name. As we said, the language is going to be in Java, and here I'm using just an empty activity, then click Finish. Once everything is done, this window will open for you. Now we are currently in the main activity.java, and also we have activity main.xml. Now in the activity main.xml, here we design everything, and in the Java file we code everything. So let's start by designing everything. The layout I'm using right now is constraint layout, which means we have to constrain every single widget we put into our display. So we are going to talk about buttons. What we are going to do is basically whenever you click a button, it's going to change the text. How is that going to happen? Let's see. Let's start by dragging a button into the layout. And here we have to constrain our buttons. So it's already constrained from the left and from the right. I'm going to do that on the top. And you can see our button is now constrained to the top, but we can give it a margin tab so it can be further from the top. I'm going to say 120, and this looks like an amazing position. We already have a text here, so I think we don't need to constrain it or to get a new text because we already have one. Okay, and the most important thing about the button, we have to give it an ID and it should be unique. So I'm going to use btn say hello for this button. This is going to be the ID, and I'm gonna change the text, as you can see, to say hello. And as you can see, guys, the text has been changed. How about the text view? First of all, of course, we are going to give it an ID, so I'm gonna write txt say hello. And it doesn't really matter the text right here because we are going to change that once we press on the button, but just not to leave it empty, I'm just gonna say hello text, for example. And you can see the text has changed. Let's change the size of the text. I'm gonna make it 18 sp. Good. Okay, it looks fine. And I'm gonna change the style and I'm gonna make it, oops, I'm gonna make it bold. Nope. Wait, let's see. Let's see, text size. Okay, doesn't actually give us, so what we can do is style, text style, and I'm gonna write bold. We can either use both ways in order to place our widgets. We can just write them down here inside the XML file, or we can just use the design. But okay, here we have the style is bold. Okay, I don't know what happened before. Okay, so we have everything ready here. Now let's go back to our main activity.java. So first thing we have to do is we have to initialize our widgets. We have a button. Let's write this down. Button. We have a button and we have a text view. So let's start by initializing the button. So in order to initialize the button, we have to specify this. What do I mean by specify? Because we are going to use a button, so we will have to use the button class. Here you see, as you see, it's Android widget. So click on button. Then we have to give our variable a name. I'm going to use the same name as my widget name. So it is btn say hello, and here we have to assign it to our widget, to our element here. And in the way to assign this to our widget is just we have to find the widget ID. How we can do that? We can just write find view by ID. You can press tab to autocomplete, and here we can access it by just writing r.id.btn say hello. R stands for resources. The same goes for the text view. I'm just gonna write text view and I'm gonna use the same name. As you can see, it gives me here an error. That means I have to import this class because it's not important. After all, button and text view, both of them are classes. So as I said, I'm gonna name it the same. And by the way, I'm gonna show you something. Instead of writing find view by ID, you can just find F. You can write FB and then press stop, and it will auto-complete it. Okay, r.id.txt say hello. Now the action goes here. We want whenever we press on that button to change this text. So we have to do something with the button. What we can do, there's a method called set on click listener. What on click listener means, it's basically whenever you press on that button, there is a listener waiting for an action. In our case, we are going to code it now. How here we have to initiate it again. A new view on click listener, and you can see we have everything done. Inside those curly braces, we can code what action we want the button to perform. The action we want the button to perform is to change this text. How can we do that? So we have to call the text variable text, and then there is a method called setText, which means set the text I'm passing here to this text. It will override it. So as you can see here, we have say hello text. I'm gonna just write hello YouTube or hello world, whatever you want, doesn't really matter. And this is basically it. We set a listener on the button. Whenever you press this button, there's an action going on, and the action that we have coded is to set the txt hello to this text. Now, let's run the application and let's see what is going to happen. In my case, it's going to take a little bit of time because this is the first time I'm going to build a Gradle. So I will get back to you once it's finished. Hello again, guys. The build is done, and here we have our application. So as we said, whenever we want to press the say hello button to set the say hello text to hello YouTube. So if we press it, you can see hello YouTube. So this was basically it. We have created a set on click listener on our button, and inside we have set the txt hello to hello YouTube, and that action should be done whenever we press the button. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you next time. Peace.